I tried to build unwavering focus for 12 plus hours a day, and it exposed exactly why I wasn't where I wanted to be. But wait, hold on a second. Let me tell you exactly what I'm talking about. You see all those goals, but you just keep procrastinating, wasting time, scrolling. And when you do actually sit down to work for the first time, you get distracted every 5 minutes, and then days turn into weeks, which turn into months and then years. And all that time goes by and you're just not where you want to be. And for good reason. Inputs equals outputs. Look, this might sound hard to hear, but so far you've just been putting in low quality, unfocused inputs. And as a result, you don't get the life, the outputs, and the goals that you want to achieve. So let's finally change that once and for all with this one video. Now I'm going to break down the 3 shifts that forced me into deep and obsessive focus, and also why you're stuck in the same loops of procrastination and distraction. Now before we get started, if you're actually serious about breaking out of this loop for good, then there's something for you down below. We're only working with serious people on this, so if that's you, book a call below. Now let's dive into part number 1, the attention debt. You don't lack focus, your attention is just overloaded. You need to think of your attention and your focus like a capacity, like a battery. You see a battery gets depleted and then you charge it and then it goes back up and then it falls back down. This is the same thing with your focus and attention, but chances are you just deplete your energy and you don't even recharge. Years ago, my focus was just so terrible, and I would just sit down at my desk. I didn't even start, and I would just be scrolling and I would be checking something, and I was distracted all the time. I would work for 10 minutes and then check my phone and then work for another 15 minutes and then check email and then watch a YouTube video and then come back and work for 20 minutes. And it was just fragmented focus. I was never able to build something real because I didn't have the focus. The unwavering focus that is going to unlock success for you. I thought it was some condition I had which explained why I wasn't able to focus. But the truth is, mentally I was doing so much, but physically I was not doing enough. I was doing too little. Now this misalignment is what drains your mental energy. Mentally, you're running at 15 kilometers an hour, but physically the work that you were actually putting in is more like 8 kilometers or 6 kilometers an hour. You are moving much faster mentally than you are physically, and that's exactly why you find that you just can't focus. Now this brings me to another reason why you can't focus: constant mental tabs open. These are tasks, these are worries, these are things that you've been avoiding, the work you've been avoiding, and these are all open loops. Chances are there are currently a dozen of these in your life. Things that you have left unaddressed, the insurance thing you had to reply to and pay off, the bill that you didn't yet pay that's still on your mind, the project that you wanted to start, the shift and change in your life that you wanted to make, the run you wanted to do, and these are just taking up so much of your energy in the background. You ever just use your phone and iPhone for just like 10-15 minutes, not much, but then your battery goes from like 100% to 60%. And you're like, why does the battery on my iPhone drain so quickly? Now, more often than not, it's just because apps are refreshing in the background. The apps that you think are not even open are actually open, and they're using energy. They're refreshing, they're looking for data, they're searching for signals. And as a result, your battery gets drained faster and faster. So close any mental tabs and close them for good. Do the thing you've wanted to do the work you've been avoiding, complete the task that has been on your mind for weeks, and just close any open loops that are on your mind. This is going to change the game of focus. But 99% of people, the way they feel when they start to actually sit down to do the work that is going to get them the result that they want, they start to feel heavy before they even start. They start to feel this friction and this mental resistance building up. And it almost feels like something is telling them, don't work, don't sit down and work. And then you just start to dread the work. It starts to feel like a chore. It starts to feel negative. And then you have this internal resistance and these excuses and thoughts that come up like, I'm gonna do it later. Let me first check this. Let me first do this other unimportant task that is not gonna help me. But that's just cope. Stop being so soft. Just stop being so comfortable and just get moving. You are gonna thank yourself for that later. You see, these 12-hour focus days are going to transform your life. The income goal that you wanted to have, the business you want to build, the habits you want to build, and the focus that you need to build any success. If you want to work with me directly to work on building those 12-hour focus days, then comment below applied and book a call in the description below. Now, if you're watching this video, you have the top 1% ambition that not many people have. You have the drive, the hunger to achieve more and more success to get to the top. So it's time to just level up and be that action taker you know you want to be. Part number 2, the false start barrier. You see, the first 20 to 30 minutes of starting any type of deep work, any type of task, it always feels off, slow thinking, no clarity, and no energy. And you just can't focus for whatever reason. You keep context switching, changing tabs, opening new tabs, rereading things, watching videos, and you're just not fully engaged with anything. This is the beginner's hell phase. This is a phase at the start of every deep work session where you're gonna feel resistance. But you need to break through this resistance. You need to push through and sit down and do not get distracted no matter what calls. No matter if you get the urge or the thought to check your phone or to respond to a message or to check something or do something, tell yourself now you will not open or change or do anything else. You will continue to sit down and push through that mental resistance, because what is on the other side is beautiful. If you resist the urge to move and do something else, that is already 90% of the work done. After that initial 10, maybe 15, for some people it's 30 minutes, that initial phase of no focus, you will enter a phase of full focus. You will enter legitimate flow state. But that's the thing, most people, they succumb to these urges to get distracted, to check their phone. So then they break the process entirely. That initial phase of just sitting down and like you don't really know what to do, you're not in the flow, you're not focused yet. That is the building phase to build flow state. You are transitioning into flow state. 99% of people quit before they're able to make this transition, but the 1%, they actually push through this mental barrier and they end up achieving flow state after 10, sometimes even 30 minutes. And that flow state is what allows you to build real success, to achieve the highest forms of productivity, and to eliminate procrastination entirely. Now let's talk about friction. Every time you go and do a good habit, there is friction. Every time you go and do a bad habit, there's also a certain level of friction. Now from Atomic Habits, one principle that will change your life is you need to increase the friction, meaning the mental resistance, between you and the bad things, the things that you don't want to do, and you need to reduce the friction to a minimum between you and the things that you have to do, the good habits, like deep work, like focus, like reading, like journaling. And where friction actually comes from is comparison. When your mind compares the task that you previously did to the task that you were going to do, it assesses a level of friction. If you were previously scrolling for 3 hours, and then what you have to do next is deep work, then there's going to be a lot of mental friction because your brain is comparing the enjoyment of scrolling, which is really enjoyable, to something like deep work, which is, not very enjoyable. So the work just feels overwhelming in comparison to scrolling. So before you sit down to work, I'm going to want you to sit down and do nothing for 15 minutes. Just stare at a wall for 15 minutes. What this does is it effectively lowers your dopamine baseline and it eliminates all friction. It actually creates negative friction because now what you did before, which is just sitting and doing nothing, is actually less enjoyable than the work that you're about to do. And now all of a sudden your brain wants to do the work because that's more fun, it is more enjoyable. Most people struggle to focus, but they forget the fact that they just scrolled for 3 hours, or that they just spent the last week binging Netflix TV shows, or that they just had a very unhealthy meal. So you cannot tell your brain that it is okay to lose focus. If you lose focus and then nothing bad happens as a result, your brain is just going to be thinking there is no consequence to losing focus, so I'm going to lose focus again and again and again. And this is where most people enter the trap, the focus trap, where even if you manage to put yourself back into the work, you start thinking negative thoughts. For example, this isn't efficient. I'm gonna start focusing tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'm not focused enough today. And you just have this negative feedback loop, which creates your identity. And all of a sudden now you're a person who can't focus, and you truly see yourself as that person. So then you can't focus. And you're stuck in a trap and a cycle of being distracted all the time, which is stealing from the outcomes you want. Now, this is the part where accountability helps more than anything else. If you're noticing this same exact pattern in yourself, that's actually exactly what we work on directly. You see, this phase is not a lack of focus. It's actually your brain trying to detox from distraction. But you just get stuck in this phase 80% of the time and you don't know how to get out. So it is about teaching your brain to commit to focused deep work sprints. So if you're enjoying this video, subscribe to the channel and let's go to part number 3. The focus reset protocol. You see, this is the more advanced system for focus. Even when you're off to a good start, focus actually fades in small amounts. It is like a bucket with a couple of holes in it. You'll still be able to fill water into it, but it's just like always leaking and there's always less focus. The reason focus fades is actually because of quick checks. And even when you do reach that level where your focus doesn't break, it's still gonna fade in small amounts. It's still gonna drift over time, and that's where we need the focus reset protocol. The moment you notice drifting in focus, you need to reset immediately. So reset, meaning stop for 10 seconds, sit still for another 10 to 15 seconds, and deep breathe through your belly. So put your hand on your belly, breathe through your nostrils, and allow and feel how your hands are moving. And just allow your belly to expand as you inhale, and as you exhale, release all of the tension. And then get back to the task. And the one rule you have to set for yourself for deep work so you can achieve something great is no phone, no switching tabs, no delay, and no thinking. Do not think about what you're going to have for lunch. Do not have your phone even in the same room. Put it on do not disturb, put it on airplane mode, and put it in another room. It cannot be next to you. Practice the discipline and the art of not switching tabs, having just 2 tabs open, and those are the things that you are doing right now. Focus on one task, don't do anything else, and then move on to the next. And the result, once you apply all of these principles, is that you cut distractions before they get too potent. Your focus actually lasts for way longer. You're almost excited to do the next bit of work, and you almost like and enjoy deep work. And you're glad and you're proud of yourself that you didn't lose focus and drift. And this is what actually builds control. It is repeatedly teaching your brain what actions are good and what actions are bad. It has nothing to do with hacks or techniques or strategies, but it has everything to do with systems. And that's what I help people fix directly. No motivation, no hacks, actual discipline, attention control, and identity systems. So you can lock in and execute at the level that you know you should be at. So you can dial the inputs so you can put in the work consistently and get the result. If you know that this is what has been holding you back this entire time, then click the link in the description below and book a call with me. We'll talk about what has been holding you back and the systems that you actually need to be able to break through and build unwavering focus to achieve your goals, because your level of success never exceeds your level of discipline. Now remember, a bad workout always beats a skipped one. Take care, and you got this.